Welcome to the Fast Track Listening Program. The ideas presented here are intended to assist you in developing a strong and profitable business for Amway IBOs affiliated with Markerman Productions. For the calendar year 2023, the average income from Amway for all U.S. registered IBOs at the Founders Platinum level and below was $841 before expenses. See www.amway.com/income-disclosure for details and the most up-to-date information. Earnings depend on many factors, including customer base, business experience, effort, dedication, as well as quality and performance of the downline sales team. Enjoy the following message.
I hope so. I hope they're as excited as we are.
There's watch parties right now screaming just to prove that they're screaming.
Yes, do it.
Or are you just sitting by yourself at work screaming?
You can do that too.
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. You're allowed to get excited. Nothing happens until somebody gets excited.
Exactly.
Well, we're excited to share with you guys tonight. You know, Mark was just interviewing some folks, and he was, what he's excited about, what the weekend and all that. And I was wondering, if he was to bring us up, what would Eva say?
What?
I was just thinking, wonder what Eva would say. And it hit me just quick. It didn't take long at all. I figured it out right away. We just come out of the holiday season. She's Nana. Nana at our house. Nana at our house is in a kitchen 24 hours a day. It seems like for the last 3 weeks, you've been cooking, baking. And she's here
true.
And no cooking, no other people are cooking for you.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yeah, no, that's absolutely true.
I will tell you something. Nobody works as hard as this woman here, not just in her business, but at home, as a mom, everything. She's just an amazing woman.
I wouldn't have it any other way.
And I will tell you what, I live inspired by watching you from the recliner. Anyway.
That, too, is a very true statement.
It's what Ninos do. But anyway, we're excited to be here. We are Matthew and Eva Pezzamenti from Johnson City, Tennessee, and we are excited to have a few minutes with you. Our upline coaches are Larry and Pam Winters, and we're honored to say that. We're going to talk to you about something this evening that we believe is going to help you. I'm going to ask you to just kind of tune in for a few minutes, and we're going to talk about a winning mindset. We're going to talk about having an attitude that doesn't quit, an attitude that perseveres. It's a brand new year we just started, and there's a lot of people got a bunch of goals. My gosh, New Year's resolutions are a waste of time, but so on and so forth. But how can you this year flip a switch and never look back? Because that's what separates people. And we're going to talk about that. I know I've got some things. I know, Eva, you've got some things prepared. We're going to take a few minutes, and if you just stay tuned in, I believe this is going to help you. Just take it for what it is. There's no magic pixie dust that's going to be sprinkled. It's going to be basic success principles that we've learned from our upline, which you, just like us, have available to you. So I'm going to turn it over to Eva. You roll for a few minutes, honey, then I'm going to come back, and I'm going to give them some stuff.
Perfect. Maybe. There we go. Well, let Nona put her glasses on. Is that okay? Matt said it, that this time of year, most people are probably doing a self-evaluation of what they've done over the last 12 months, where they want to go over the next 12 months. And at least for me, there are some things that I was excited about, things that I've looked at and said, well, I need to change, things that I want to progress into this coming year. And I've also learned over the course of time that in order for things to progress, in order for things to change, most of the time, there are things that have to change, right? In our attitudes, maybe our actions, the mindset, the way we look at different things. One of the things for me, and I honestly, to this day, have to stay pressed in and check myself on this, or I don't want to go back to the way I used to be. And just looking at circumstances, looking at situations, looking even at people with a positive outlook and knowing that it's going to be a positive outcome in my business and our life. I personally read the Bible. That's just something that I choose to do. And there's a verse that has always helped me. And one of the translations to this verse, it says, "No weapon formed against me shall prevail." Now, what does that mean? For me in my life, it says, how do you look at things? How do you see things? Do you see things, do I see things as an opportunity to overcome, or do I see obstacles that will stop me? And I have found out over the course of building our business and just living our lives, and even in our family, that how I choose to look at things, every circumstance, every situation, even the people that are in my life makes a huge impact for me on how things adjust and go forward and progress. One of the big, and I, it's that self-evaluation thing. One of the things that I have learned to do is, no weapon formed against me, will prevail. Well, I also check myself and say, am I that weapon that is forming those things against me where I may not prevail? To me, that's that self-check lane that I do on a regular basis. And, what may that look like? And you're saying, oh, I hear that, but that really doesn't make any sense to me. So say that you're brand new and you're brand new in the business. Some of the examples, like you maybe sample a product to somebody and they sample it and you get back with them and they'll say, well, yeah, it was okay, but I just don't think that's for me. I really don't like it, or whatever it may be. And you can do one thing or the other. It's like, oh, really? You don't, well, maybe the products aren't all that good, or maybe I made the wrong decision. Or you can say, really? Wow, I tried it and I absolutely love it. So I know that if I enjoy these products and I enjoy this, there have to be other people out there that are going to enjoy them as well. So I'm just going to sample another product to another person. It may be you get started in business and you went and talked to a family member and they said, oh, really? You got started in the Amway business? Oh, I don't think you're really cut out to do that. You can have one of two responses, really. You know what? You may be right. Maybe I made a really bad decision. Or you can say, oh, I really don't agree with you. I don't know that you've seen what I've seen, that you've been around the people that I've been around. You haven't used the products that I've used. So no, I know that this is something that I'm going to pursue and I'm going to succeed in it if I choose to. There may be people in your life, in your circle of friends right now, that may be vying for your attention. It may be people that maybe you used to, play video games with, or maybe you used to sit on the phone for hours at a time and gossip. But, you're no longer doing those things, and you're taking the time that you did and you're putting it into building your business. And they may say, well, I just don't understand why you just, that business has taken priority over us. And you may think, wow, you know what? We've been friends a long time. Maybe I shouldn't spend as much time. Or you can say, no, they really just don't understand that I'm taking this time because of what I've seen, and I am putting this time into my future and into my family's future. And so I'm just going to keep pursuing this because of the mindset I've gained. As you continue to grow your business, know that there are going to be people who are going to quit. They're going to get in your business, and no matter how much we try to filter them or whatever, there are going to be people that are going to get in and quit. One of two things you can say, wow, I thought, they were my friend. I thought they were going to stay in business and we were going to build it together. Maybe they know something that I don't know. Or you can say, no, that's good for them and that's their choice. But I choose to continue to pursue this business because I've seen something in it that's good for me and my family. You know what? There's going to be life situations come up as you're building your business, some big, some small. But what are we going to do when those life situations happen? And I think everybody can say that one of these things has happened, maybe multiple, but it's what are you going to do when those things come? Are you going to stand and handle the things that need to be handled? And then continue through those times to build your business because you've seen a future and you've seen what this business can do. You know, even a platinum ship, what it can produce and what it can do. It's all about, for me anyway, how I look at the things that come. And I learned along the way, you know, for me it was, well, I'm not necessarily that kind of person. To me, it's like, well, the glass was always half empty. You know, I was always looking for a problem in every solution. I don't know if there's anybody else out there like that, but that was me. So how did I come to the point where that wasn't the case? Through repetition, through reading the books, through listening to the audios, to associating with my upline and the people that were moving on and had those positive mental attitudes. You know, just choosing to overcome. You know, Matt says it all the time. He says, take the pen and write your story. Not allowing others to dictate who you are, where you're going, and what you're going to accomplish. And Matt's going to cover a little bit of what are some of the best ways to do that.
Good stuff. And you know, Eva, you had to work at that, didn't you?
Absolutely.
It didn't just happen, right?
Yes.
It's like anything else.
Absolutely.
If you want to do something, you have to make a decision that I am going to change. And we should all be excited about changing. I don't care what your background is. I don't care what you may or may not have done. We salute you. But how many people realize as long as we're breathing, life is still moving and we should be moving with it, growing with it, becoming more, changing, overcoming, etc. So we're going to talk a little bit about that. I've got a couple of thoughts. I'm not going to spend a lot of time because it's not that complicated. It's truly not. Larry and Pam were on with a night out last night, and Larry made a statement, and you've heard it before, I've heard it before. But it is so true, so profound, and we all quote it. You've probably posted it on something, in the last week, okay? But success is 98% attitude and 2% technique. Now, I'm going to tell you that is true. 98% attitude. Well, I want to key in on that a little bit. The 2% technique, guys, I'm telling you, okay, it's not that complicated. It's not that complicated. It's a basic skill set that anybody, you, me, anyone can develop on checking to see who's looking, and you have a process that your upline will teach you on doing that and educating people on what we do, see if it's a good fit, bring them on board. Sampling products, sharing products. It's not that complicated. Whatever you do at your job is much more complicated. So here's the key. If it's such a simple business, and it is, why don't more people just take off? Because it's 98% the way we think. And because this has gotten so messed up over time, and you live in a world where most people don't know that, and everybody's running around and we just want to fit in, then we become like the 98% instead of separating ourselves and becoming the 2% that move on in life. Okay, so let's key in on it. You know, it's a brand new year. You know, there's a lot of people starting a gym, right? My gosh, you go to the gym now, it's, my goodness. I went the other day just so I could have content for this talk. But it's just slammed full of people. And you can tell the people that just showed up. It's January 1 and they're there. You know, they got their brand new spandex on, which they should have rethought that before they ever, it's true. Anyway, I got a lot of lines coming to me right now, but I'm going to stop. I digress. They got all of their new gear, their new water bottles, and all the headsets and the whole thing, and they own the place right now. Give it about 45 days. It's going to start thinning out real quick. And it'll get back to normal by March. Now, I will tell you this, and I talked to one of the guys at the gym, run the gym, and he said, you know, come May, it'll spike back up because spring, summer's coming and people are going to want to get in shape. So you're going to see another resurgence, but it only lasts about 3 weeks and that dies out quicker. And it'll be the same people that came in January. And then they won't be back until the following January. They never get in shape, and every year they have new gym gear. Doesn't change. Nothing changes. Why? Why do they not see it through? It's the way they think about what they're doing. It's the way they think about what they're, and that's true in any endeavor. It doesn't matter the endeavor. That's just one right now that's just popular. It's everybody can see it. It's all over the place. You know, it doesn't matter what city, state, town you live in. That's happening in gyms all over the place. Most people are going to be, they act or don't act based on circumstances and emotions. Hear me now. Circumstances and emotions. That's what dictates whether most people do or don't do. Building the Amway business, you're a free agent. You can do it or not do it. You can choose to be active every day in your business or not be active every day in your business. And most people have an intention, especially starting this new year, that this is going to be the year, man. I'm going to see it through. However, they don't understand that they will allow circumstances that pop up, because they will, to change that game plan. They will allow emotions that they feel to change that game plan. They'll feel a certain way, and always the intention is tomorrow, and they don't see it through. And it is not because they can't. It's not because they're bad people. It's because no one ever told them that they're allowed to take control of the 6 inches between their ears. It's the epicenter of who we are. I read in a book, it says this. It says, and this is true. If you're going to take a note tonight, write this down. As a man thinks, so is he. As a person thinks, so is they, okay? It doesn't matter. What happens here is going to determine everything. So that should be our focal point, should it not? On how do I get control of my brain? You know, a positive mental attitude. In every adversity lies the seed of equal or greater benefit. In every adversity, does not matter, any means what? Any. Lies the seed to equal or greater benefit. If you have a positive mental attitude. It's not going to just happen. You're not going to automatically see it, and you doggone sure won't take advantage of it. Adversities are going to come. That's part of the equation. Circumstances, call it what you will. The person with a positive mental attitude sees every adversity, listen, as an opportunity to overcome it. The person with a positive mental attitude, because they understand it's part of the game. There's no escaping it. When a circumstance comes, now how do I see it? Okay, here's an opportunity for me to overcome that and create a new success story. Because it's coming. I know it's going to happen. In every adversity lies the seed of equal or greater benefit if you have a positive mental attitude. If you have a positive mental attitude, here's what it's going to give you. You ready? A positive mental attitude will produce enthusiasm. Enthusiasm. Now here, everything I just said is leading up to this. In 2024, you have a goal? I'm sure you do. Probably got with your upline, mapped it on out. 12 months from now, here's where we want to be. We want to have this. So you become, listen, obsessed with, possessed with, controlling in your mind of, that's where I want to be. That's where I want to be. And you'll start the journey, and every time you see something, you're going to get frustrated because you believe that's keeping you from getting where you want to be. That's another problem. That's another this. Instead of seeing it as an opportunity, a seed of equal or greater benefit in everything that comes my way. Listen, I'm going to ask you to change your focus. Hear me now. Hear me now. This is simple. I'm a simple guy. There's some really smart people in this room with me. I'm a simple guy. Instead of being obsessed with that goal, this year, become obsessed with being the person that sees it through. Make that your focus. Make that your passion, that it doesn't matter. I want to be the person that no matter what comes my way, you can set your watch to me, baby. I am as predictable as they come. I am steady. It doesn't matter what other people think, what emotions, how I feel, the circumstances. I am going to be steady. And your badge of honor, your pride starts to become, I am seeing it through. Can I tell you what happens? Your belief will go up that you are going to accomplish that goal. That goal just never seems too far away because you know you're becoming the person that will see it through. Don't make the goal the obsession. Make the obsession you becoming the person that will see it to its final end. The person that doesn't back down. The person that doesn't matter. Every scenario that comes is an opportunity for you to help raise belief. There's a common saying in our business, the number one role of an upline, the number one role of any upline, if you've got one person in your group, whether they're active or inactive, the number one role of any upline is always to be the proper example so that they can always raise belief. Be the proper example so that they can raise belief. Now, well, that's great. We're an upline. I don't have a downline, so I'm not an upline, so that doesn't matter to me. Well, hold on. Let me give you the definition of a good downline. A good downline always wants to be the proper example so that they can help their upline raise belief. Now listen, they go together. It's called continuity. It's called working together. It's called being unified. So if we both have the same goal, you have someone in your upline that's in pursuit, an upline. They're not perfect. No one in the business or out of the business is perfect, but they're after it. They're always on. They're always going. There's somebody in your upline. It doesn't matter how far removed you are. How about if you say to yourself this year that that's my focus? That's my focus. I am going to become that person. I will be the proper example with my attitude, with my actions. When they turn around, they're going to look. I'm always going to be the one that's got their back. I'm always there. With my volume creation, right? With my activities, my daily calendar, my daily disciplines, 9 core, you name it. And now you're becoming a proper example there. But if you're shooting for the results, everything looks like it's a problem. And the real person with a positive mental attitude is the person that is predictable. The person that they know where they're going, and their goal and their objective isn't to always be the hottest shot in the room. Isn't to hear their name mentioned. It's to be somebody that their upline can always point to and say, you know what? This one's got my back. This one is a proper example. And here's what I know. And this comes right from Larry Winters, and it's so true. Whatever you do to your upline, your downline will then, in time, as you have a downline form, they will be that for you. And see, when we come to a place where we really understand that, the objective, the thing we are enthusiastic about, because we have a positive mental attitude. Why? Because I know, one, I'm not going to quit, okay? You're never going to win at anything if you're always going, at what point will I quit? Those are the people that are in the gym right now. They'll be dusting off that water bottle again next January, okay? You can't be that person. So you make the decision, one, I'm not going to quit. Larry says, then the next decision is, I'm going to build this thing. I'm going to become a wingman to my upline. I'm going to be that person. It is a choice. Now, when you read the books that you hear recommended from your upline, when you listen to the audios, when you attend meetings and you come to training sessions and you get around your coach and your upline, everything is feeding in to you becoming the person that you're obsessed with becoming. That becomes your badge of honor. You raise your own belief because you know you're doing what it takes to win. And when you know you're paying the price, then you're going to expect a return. And it's coming like a freight train. 2024 is 12 months. It's not 12 days. It's not 12 weeks. It's 12 months. What if everybody hearing my voice right now set a goal for the next 12 months, January, February, March? It doesn't matter what I see. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. I'm becoming that person that my upline can point to as the proper example. I am the go-to. I am the poster child. That's what I'm obsessed with. Now, when I do everything I do, it goes to feed into that. And when a circumstance comes, a challenge comes, an emotion comes, my attitude changes my circumstance. My attitude changes my emotions. My emotions begin to follow me because I am now in control of where I'm going, not everything else. You're allowed to take control of your mind in 2024. That is the key. It's 98% attitude, 2% technique. Let's get the 98%. We love you guys. God bless.
This is a copyrighted program of Marker Man Productions, affiliated with MarkerNet Incorporated. Duplication of this program is strictly prohibited.